Okay, so now this paint has dried, and I have got my black fine liner. And what I have done here, you see, I've sort of marked out on the door. I've done some sort of wooden planks. I go around, I haven't done the whole thing, but I've started going around the beams with a black fine liner. So I've got that, and I'm going to do that on all the different bits and pieces that I've got done. So I have got all of these. They are going to come together and hopefully work out really well eventually. Something like that. So I'm going to keep on drawing on these, and when you're doing that, I mean, you could even I think when you were drawing here, you know, go very, doesn't matter if it's a bit uneven, because that's actually giving quite a lovely sort of detail to this. You know, beams and things like that, wooden, they weren't, you know, these houses, they weren't really completely straight and wonderful. And if you ever live in an old house, some of the walls will be a bit bent, and you know, one wall will be a bit higher than the other, etc., etc. So they were a little bit more organic than modern built houses. And things are a little bit more, well, higgledy-piggledy. So keep on going over with the black fine liner for the details, and I'm going to do mine, and then I'll come back here and show you how I'm getting on. Okay, so now it's time to start sticking these things together. So what I've got, I'm going to stick them on the reverse, so I'm getting this. It will be a little bit of a white gap there, and I'm going to paint those. I'm going to sort that out after I'm finished. You could put a little piece of tape down there to make the house even sturdier, but I'm just going to start showing you how I've done this. So I'll put some tape on the inside there so it's a bit flexible, and then I'm going to lay down, I've got my other bit there, and I'm just going to lay that down, try to get them to be as close as possible. And then I take my tape and I will stick one, and make sure now that you're not getting too much of a gap. So really stick this. Now it's very important that you have done all your measuring correctly. So these sides are all the same measurements, so you're not having one side that is a bit too big or too tall. So here we've got that and that. See, there is a little bit there, but I can probably actually fill that in with some brown paint. Now we're getting to the last piece, which I've got here. Bear in mind, now it's really important that you're not putting it upside down. So you want to have obviously the floor on the bottom. And I'm going to do them straight first, and then I'm going to do the last ones. I'm going to line these ones up, so I've got a whole long piece of a house here. And let's see if we can line it up really nicely. Put it down with the tape like this. I'm using ordinary masking tape. Should work. Obviously masking tape, if you want to go over and put a little bit on the other side of the house, on the outside here, you can paint over there. Cellophane, you won't be able to do that. So I'm going to stick this all together on the inside now. This is going to be quite difficult to get the tape in there, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to turn off the camera for a little bit. So I'm finding this quite difficult to get through, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this bit of tape on the inside here first, and then I am going to slide this piece of the other side here. Try to get really neat, really tight together, squeeze it like that, and voila. If you've got a little bit of tape sticking up there, you can always trim that a little bit later. You can actually get it so at the moment it's still a bit unsteady like this, and that's fine. It's going to stop when you're putting the roof on. I'm going to get one more piece of tape down there, and then it is time to sort out the next bit. Oopsie-daisy. And press, and make sure that you've got a really sturdy. Right, there we go. So far so good. back of the house there. I'm going to trim this off here, like that. And now it's the time to get the ceiling on. So I'm just going to stop and load up the last two and just change the camera a bit because we can't really see what we're doing.